For the last decade, the dining room was dying. People tore down the walls between it and the kitchen. They turned it into a home office. They ate on the sofa. They convinced themselves the dining table was unnecessary, that a kitchen island with bar stools was enough. And then something happened that nobody predicted. People started missing it. Missing the ceremony of sitting down together at a proper table in a proper room with a door that closes and a light overhead that makes everyone look extraordinary. And in 2026, the dining room is not just back. It is having the most extraordinary design moment of its entire history. We are talking wood-clad walls that glow like a private members club, chandeliers so sculptural they belong in a gallery, tables that were designed to keep people sitting for hours after the last course, chairs that are the most beautiful objects in the room, color on every surface, including the ceiling that makes the act of eating dinner feel like an event. Today, I am walking you through every element of the modern dining rooms that look straight out of a magazine in 2026. The materials, the lighting, the colors, the furniture, the art, and showing you exactly how to bring every single one of those elements into your own home. Stay until the very end, because the final detail is the one that every single magazine-worthy dining room has, and that almost no one ever thinks to include. Before we walk into the first room, if magazine-worthy interiors, stunning dining spaces, and design that makes everyday meals feel like occasions are your kind of content, hit subscribe right now and ring that notification bell. New videos every single week, and I promise this channel is about to become your favorite design obsession. Okay, let's get into the dining room. Before we go detail by detail through the elements that make a dining room look like it belongs in a magazine, I want to explain why this particular room is having this particular moment. Because it is not random. For the past decade, the dining room quietly faded into the background. Open-plan living made it feel unnecessary. Many homeowners turned theirs into home offices, playrooms, or extra storage. But something shifted. People started craving a dedicated space for meals, conversation, and connection. A place separate from the kitchen chaos. Dining room trends for 2026 are signaling a shift towards dynamic, lived-in spaces that feel more casual and multifunctional than ever before. Decor is becoming more playful and experimental, while architecture is embracing character and history. They're the antithesis of dining room cliches and offer a welcome change from the outdated dining room trends we are all tired of seeing. The dining room is working harder than ever these days. Is weekday meals, special occasions, homework, Zoom calls. That is why investing in meaningful design here matters, says designer Lisa Sherry. A room that works harder than ever deserves design that works harder than ever. And in 2026, it is getting it. Let us start with the element that sets the entire tone before a single guest sits down. In every magazine-worthy dining room of 2026, the walls are not an afterthought. They are the first decision. The element everything else is built around. And what is happening on dining room walls right now is more extraordinary than at any point in recent design history. Large-scale botanical murals, hand-painted designs, and grasscloth wall coverings are all popular this year and are turning dining room walls into works of art, according to Modern Luxury. Walls play a starring role through textured panels, mirrors, murals, and statement art. Dining room design in 2026 centers on personality, warmth, and bold choices, moving away from cold minimalism toward spaces that feel collected and lived in. The wall treatment doing the most dramatic work in 2026 magazine dining rooms is grasscloth wall covering, a woven natural fiber wallpaper that has a texture so rich and so tactile it changes how light hits every surface in the room. It is warm. It is organic. It absorbs sound in a way that makes every conversation in a grasscloth walled room feel more intimate. And it is available at a range of price points from accessible to luxury. Behind it in terms of impact, limewash paint. The same textured, hand-applied technique that is dominating living room and bedroom walls in 2026 works even harder in a dining room, because the texture catches candlelight at dinner time in a way that flat paint simply cannot replicate. A limewash wall in a deep, saturated tone, forest green, oxblood, midnight navy, creates a room that looks completely different at noon and at 9 in the evening. At noon, it is dramatic. At 9, with the right lighting, it is extraordinary. From wood beams to walls, there will be an emphasis on natural beauty. 2026 is going to see a return to wood-clad dining rooms. Warm, rich and moody woods paired with a touch of color make for an intimate setting that homeowners will be embracing. Smaller gatherings and celebrations in beautifully intimate spaces, says Bridget Teak of Teak BYDAY. Wood-clad walls, full wall paneling in walnut, smoked oak, or teak, running from floor to ceiling, creates the most enveloping, most intimate, most genuinely luxurious dining room environment available in 2026. The room feels warm before the food arrives, warm before the candles are lit, warm in a way that stone and plaster and painted drywall cannot achieve at any color or price. The color story that works hardest on dining room walls right now. Color palettes run deep and moody. The table is once again the hero of the room. Oxblood, deep plum, forest green, midnight navy, rich terracotta. Every one of these colors in a dining room creates the same effect. A room that feels like an event rather than a default. A room that tells guests, before they have unfolded their napkin, that tonight is going to be different from every other Tuesday night. If the walls set the scene, the lighting determines the entire emotional experience of the dining room. And in 2026, the lighting conversation has never been more interesting. Bold is the way to go with dining room lighting this year. Homeowners are saying goodbye to recessed cans and opting for intentional and expressive dining room fixtures. This is the room to have fun with it. Layered lighting, sculptural fixtures, and statement chandeliers set the tone and immediately elevate the space, says designer Sarah Akbari. Single, static chandeliers are stepping aside for adaptable ambience, allowing homeowners to shift the mood instantly from a bright family brunch to an intimate, dimly lit dinner party. Smart layered lighting solutions make this possible. The lighting formula that creates a magazine-worthy dining room in 2026 has 3 layers, and all 3 are essential. Layer 1, the statement pendant or chandelier. This is the piece that does the visual heavy lifting, the piece that is talked about when guests describe the room to friends who are not there. In 2026, the fixtures earning that conversation are sculptural rather than traditional. A cluster of hand-blown amber glass pendants at staggered heights. An oversized rattan pendant the size of a satellite dish. A blackened steel chandelier with arms extending outward in an asymmetric arrangement. A ceramic sculptural piece that reads as art when unlit and as something else entirely when warm light pours through it. The rule for pendant height in a dining room. The bottom of the pendant should hang 30 to 36 inches above the tabletop, low enough that the light creates an intimate pool over the dining surface, high enough that guests across the table can see each other without the fixture interrupting their sight line. Layer 2, the dimmer switch, the most impactful single upgrade in any dining room at any budget level. A dimmer switch on the overhead pendant costs $15 to $30 installed and converts a flat, static room into a room with multiple moods. At 100% for clearing the table, at 60% for the main course, at 30% for dessert and conversation that nobody wants to end. The light level at dinner is the difference between a meal that finishes at 8 and a meal that finishes at midnight. Layer 3, candles. Surfaces read warm both visually and to the touch. New forms of overhead lights draw everyone toward the center, while layout arrangements promote unbroken movement around the room. Candles on the dining table, real wax, real flame. Add the one quality that no LED fixture can replicate. Movement. Candle flame moves. It flickers slightly in the air currents created by breathing and conversation. That movement makes the light alive, and a live light makes the faces around the table look extraordinary. This is the detail that separates a dining room that looks like a magazine from a dining room that feels like a magazine. Cost, under $20. Impact. The room becomes the best version of itself every single evening. The table is once again the hero of the room. That sentence from Modern Luxury says everything about where dining room design is in 2026. Not the chandelier, not the wallpaper, not the art, the table, the surface around which everyone gathers. The piece of furniture that is used every day and that should, more than any other object in the home, be chosen with absolute intention. Many major dining room ideas for 2026 stem from the desire to keep people at the table longer. This directly affects designs, including the proportions of the dining table, as well as the chairs. Every element works to support the rhythm of a shared meal, from its first course to its final moments. The table choices that are dominating magazine dining rooms in 2026. First, the live edge walnut slab. One continuous piece of wood, the natural edge preserved on both sides, the surface oiled rather than varnished so it feels alive and warm to the touch. This is the table that every other design element in the room wants to be photographed with. It is the table around which the room is built. Dining room trends 2026 draw cues from mid-century modern and 1970s interiors reinvented for current use. Creative ideas include woods and walnut and teak, satin finishes that soften light, and prominent grain. Upholstery leans toward textured weaves in earthy or citrus tones, set against the clean lines of taper-legged chairs or pedestal tables. Second, the round pedestal table. The dining room configuration that creates the most social, most democratic, most conversation-friendly environment. No head of the table. No hierarchy. Everyone at the same distance from everyone else. In a smaller dining room, or a dining room that doubles as other things, the pedestal base frees up floor space around the legs, making the room feel less obstructed and more generous. Think curved, sculptural lines that invite touch and comfort, with furniture pieces that feel as good as they look, including curved backs, sloped chair arms, and rounded corners on dining tables and consoles. Rounded corners, curved edges, sculptural silhouettes. The sharp-cornered rectangular dining table that dominated for a decade is being replaced by forms that feel more human, more welcoming, more approachable, more like an invitation to sit down and stay. The chairs are where most dining rooms get it wrong, and where the magazine-worthy ones get it spectacularly right. The enduring appeal of a well-designed dining chair is due to its simplicity, sturdiness, and the airy, sometimes sculptural quality it brings to a space. There is a humility in great dining chair design that makes it both ergonomic and elegant and endlessly adaptable. The chair rule that every magazine dining room follows, and that almost every ordinary dining room violates. Do not buy a set. The most interesting, most beautiful, most personal dining rooms in 2026 do not have 8 matching chairs. They have an armchair at each end of the table and a different upholstered side chair along each side, or a bench along one wall and individual chairs on the other, or 5 different chairs that share only a consistent material finish, all in natural wrought tan, or all in the same warm wood tone, but each one from a different source, a different year, a different design. Hand-painted surfaces and wood with scalloped edges and tactile embroidery-like patterns will favor the handmade and imperfect. Try to include durable, beautifully crafted pieces with traceable origins and designs that will become heirlooms rather than landfill fillers. Heirlooms rather than landfill fillers. That phrase is the entire brief for dining room chairs in 2026. Choose well once. Choose for quality of material and quality of construction. Choose for how the chair feels to sit in for 3 hours at a dinner that goes long, because the best meals always do. The upholstery trending hardest in 2026 dining rooms. Textured weaves in earthy or citrus tones. Warm ochre boucle. Deep terracotta velvet. Natural linen in an undyed tone. Embroidered fabric that has a texture visible from across the room. The chair is the thing you sit in, but it is also the thing you look at from the opposite side of the table for the entire meal, and it should be worth looking at. Take advantage of a high dining room ceiling to introduce large-scale art. In a space that is visually anchored by a long run of dining chairs, the dining room is working harder than ever. That is why investing in meaningful art here matters. The art in a magazine-worthy dining room is not decorative. It is not the print that coordinates with the curtains or the abstract canvas that was chosen because it had the right amount of blue in it. The art in an extraordinary dining room is the thing guests are still talking about when they get home. It is the thing you chose because you stood in front of it and felt something, not because it matched. Walls play a starring role through textured panels, mirrors, murals, and statement art. Furniture mixes eras and materials for a curated look. The art placement that works hardest in a dining room. One large piece, genuinely large, at least 40 by 60 inches, on the wall that faces the majority of the seats of the table. Not above the sideboard at a height where nobody seated can see it properly. not in a gallery arrangement that requires too much visual processing at dinner. One large, extraordinary piece, at eye level for someone seated, in a frame that earns its place as much as the image inside it. Large-scale botanical murals and hand-painted designs are turning dining room walls into works of art. The most ambitious version of this, a hand-painted mural directly on one wall of the dining room. Not a wallpaper, an actual painting, done by a local artist, which costs less than most people assume and produces something entirely original. A dining room with a hand-painted wall is a dining room that cannot be replicated anywhere else in the world. That uniqueness is the definition of extraordinary. The sideboard, or buffet, or console, is the dining room's working surface. The place where dishes wait before they reach the table, where wine is opened, where candles are stored, where the additional plates live for the dinner that went larger than planned. In 2026, the sideboard has also become the dining room's most significant styling surface, the equivalent of the kitchen open shelving, where the personality of the room is communicated most directly. Sideboards and cabinets show veneered patterns or lacquered panels, recalling period detailing without strict replication, while reading unmistakably familiar. Resulting spaces are fully adapted to the present day. The sideboard styling formula that creates the magazine shot: one large object at one end, a ceramic vase, a sculptural object, a lamp with a warm-toned shade, a grouping of 3 medium objects in the center, candlesticks, a bowl of seasonal fruit, a decanter with a beautiful silhouette, one small personal object at the other end, a photograph in a frame that earns its place, a small piece of pottery made by someone you know. Above the sideboard, one large mirror or one large piece of art. The mirror doubles the light in the room. The art gives the sideboard a backdrop that makes every object on its surface more beautiful. A mirror might be the single most effective tool for transforming a dining room. It reflects light, creates the illusion of space, and adds instant elegance. One large mirror above a sideboard or console table makes a dramatic impact. Choose an arched, round, or ornate frame to match your room style. An arched mirror above a sideboard in a dining room is one of the most effortless and most impactful design decisions available at any budget. It reflects the chandelier. It reflects the candles. It reflects the faces of everyone sitting at the table. And at dinner time, when everything in the room is at its most beautiful, the mirror shows it all back to you twice. Using sustainable materials and prioritizing ethically produced furnishings has become even more popular in 2026, especially among interior designers and homeowners seeking to redo their dining space. Sustainability is standard. Reclaimed woods and eco-friendly fabrics dominate the 2026 landscape, proving that luxury and environmental responsibility can coexist beautifully in any home. Innovative materials feature different recycled composites reinforced with natural fibers. The blends form slender yet strong chair frames and tabletops, opening up possibilities for new shapes. The magazine-worthy dining room of 2026 is not just beautiful, it is considered. The table is reclaimed timber with a documented origin. The chairs are upholstered in a fabric with a traceable supply chain. The sideboard is a vintage piece found and restored rather than a new piece manufactured. The ceramics on the table were made by a local artisan. The art on the wall was commissioned from an emerging artist rather than printed by an algorithm. This considered approach to sourcing is not just ethical. It is the design decision that makes a dining room impossible to replicate. A dining room furnished with items that have origins, stories, and makers is a dining room with a personality that no catalog purchase can create. And personality, genuine, traceable, human personality, is the quality that makes a dining room look straight out of a magazine. Because magazines are not interested in what everyone can buy. They are interested in what nobody else has. Here it is. The final detail I promised at the very beginning. The one that every single magazine-worthy dining room has. The one that almost nobody thinks to include when they are designing their own. A reason to linger. Many major dining room ideas for 2026 stem from the desire to keep people at the table longer. This directly affects designs, including the proportions of the dining table, as well as the chairs. New forms of overhead lights draw everyone toward the center, while surfaces read warm both visually and to the touch. Every element of a magazine dining room. The dim, warm pendant light, the flickering candles, the tactile chair upholstery, the art on the wall that generates conversation, the sideboard with the decanter and the glasses within easy reach, the wood-clad walls that absorb the echo of 12 people talking simultaneously. All of it is in service of one goal: keeping people at the table after the last dish has been cleared. The dining room that achieves this is not designed for the photograph. It is designed for 10:30 p.m. on a Saturday, when the food is gone and the wine is almost gone and nobody has made a move to leave because the room makes leaving feel wrong. That room is warm. That room is comfortable. That room is lit so well that everyone in it looks the best they have looked all week. That room has something beautiful to look at. That room has something good to drink. That room has chairs that are worth sitting in for another hour. The dining room is working harder than ever. That is why investing in meaningful design here matters. Meaningful design, not impressive design, not expensive design, not design that photographs beautifully and feels hollow in real life. Design that means something to the people in the room. Design that makes the meal last longer, the conversation go deeper, and the evening feel like something worth remembering. That is the magazine dining room. That is what every element on this list is building toward. And that, the room that makes people stay, is the most extraordinary thing any dining room can be. So there it is. The modern dining rooms that look straight out of a magazine in 2026. Walls in grasscloth, botanical murals, limewash in deep saturated tones, or warm wood cladding that makes the room feel like a private club. Pendant lighting that is sculptural and expressive, and on a dimmer that changes everything from brunch to midnight. A table chosen to keep people sitting, live edge walnut, curved round pedestal, or a piece with rounded corners that invites touch. Chairs that were not bought as a set. Mixed, curated, chosen individually for quality and character. Large-scale art that generates conversation before the starter arrives. A sideboard styled with one large object, one grouping of 3, one personal piece, and a mirror above it that reflects everything beautiful in the room back twice. Sustainable materials with traceable origins that make the room impossible to replicate. And underneath all of it, a design philosophy built around keeping people at the table longer. Warmer, dimmer, more comfortable, more beautiful, more worth staying in. That is the magazine dining room. And now you know how to build one. If this video lit something up in you, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Subscribe for stunning room reveals, design deep dives, and home inspiration every single week. And drop a comment below telling me which element from today's dining room you're doing first. The wood-clad walls, the sculptural chandelier, the mixed chairs, the arched mirror above the sideboard. We're going straight to light some candles tonight. I read every single one. See you in the next room.